Hello, everybody.
No,
Welcome to the
weird,
Poll. You son of a bitch.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Shut up, Rob.
That's the show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Oh, wait a minute. Is my mic? Which mic is this using?
I don't know. It sounds
Okay,
good.
It's
You sound
using
fine.
the good. It's good. Using the good microphone. Okay.
Yeah, you sound good.
Off to a rollicking start.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
got this.
Let's do that again. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Big Poll. I'm Sal.
What's going on, guys? I'm Rob.
That's right.
And I am the Caped Joel.
That's right.
The
Today we're
Cape
going to
Joel.
talk about comics and comic book culture and pop culture stuff. Got all kinds of great stuff. Joel's going to tell us what's happening with that. But before we start, Joel, we got a little bit of a. We're going to start on a down note and then work our way back up. So
Yeah.
let's do it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of something we really had to acknowledge because the man had cast such a shadow in the geek community, had been an ambassador for comic books and superheroes. Of course, if you don't know, I'm talking about the passing of Adam West, the original TV Batman. We lost him at 88 due to a battle with leukemia just this week.
Totally blows. It was a blow to geek culture in general. We've been to many cons. Have either of you guys met Adam West?
Never
I've
met him.
passed him several
I've seen
times,
him.
but he's been to
Right.
everywhere.
He's been to every con like that we've ever been to, and yet never talked to him. I met him in a very weird and fleeting circumstance. I was at Big Apple Con several years ago. I want to say a good 5 years ago. And I was looking at my phone, checking Twitter naturally, and this blur just almost slams into me, and you know that feeling when you're really close to somebody and you just go, oh! So I look up, and Adam West is dressed in this ridiculously flamboyant suit, and he is surrounded by handlers, and for whatever reason, no one was paying attention to either of us and our trajectories, and we just almost completely collided with each other. And I look up and went, oh shit! And Adam West looked at me, and he gave me a little, yeah, that's right, oh shit. I'm Adam West. He didn't say it, but he just gave me that, like, yeah. And then...
That would have been funny if he said that.
By the way, yeah, I know. But then, he stopped, so he didn't collide with me, does a perfect sidestep around me, like I was a column, or an obstruction, a garbage can, if you will, and just completely circumvented me, and his people were like, how'd we screw that up? And I was like, that's amazing. Yep, oh, I don't need to meet him ever again. I'm good. That was a perfect interaction.
You'll never be able to top that moment.
No, exactly.
Just crawl into a hole, man. That's what I would do.
It was a weird moment for me because obviously, of course, Adam West was my father's Batman. So it was a weird thing having to text him and be like, hey, Dad, Adam West died. And he's like, oh, my Batman died.
Yeah.
Because he was never a comic reader. I think he was into sports and music and cool stuff and everything.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
So to have to tell him that.
He was in many ways he was almost like an ambassador to the comic book world because for many people, for most people, I would say, he was the introduction to Batman for most people.
Well, yeah. I mean, that show saved the Joker from being like eliminated.
Yeah.
So, like Cesar Romero
Saved
was.
many characters from obscurity.
Now, here's a funny thing.
Like King
When I
Tut.
first saw that show as a kid, I didn't realize it was supposed to be campy.
Yeah.
And there's this like amazing moment where he's fighting some bad guys, whatever it was, and he picks one of them up and throws them, and you can see like the track there with like the cables hanging down on it.
Nice.
And I remember looking at my dad, and I was like, "Oh my God, Dad, you can see the track! Like, man, this show's terrible." And he looks at me, he's like, "Son, it's supposed to be like that. This
It's
is supposed
to be
campy."
terrible.
It is funny that, I think everyone kind of has a circular relation with that show, from being a kid and taking it all 100% seriously to being a cynical teen 20-something, being like, that's not my Batman, to becoming more of an adult and appreciating the camp and the comedy and what they were trying to do and be like, you know what, there's a lot to appreciate here.
Absolutely.
Circling all the way back to being a hipster and just being like, "Yeah, I used to watch the show when I was a kid, back before it was cool, when it was in the prime of its life."
Yeah.
When it was
It's
cool.
the circle of life, absolutely. There's always the hipster one.
Oh yeah, you always if you either die a hipster or live long enough to become a hipster all over again.
The show was actually kind of subversive in a lot of ways too, because it was the 60s, and yet Batman, who basically in that show was like an officer of the law, he worked directly with the police. He didn't hate hippies. He actually, I remember there was one where he had to like help them from like a plant-themed villain. That they were the flower children. He had to help out the flower children. And then they also had Eartha Kitt in the show too, who like the FBI had been looking into her as like a dangerous subversive, and you compare that to stuff like Dragnet at the same time, where it was basically just a half an hour of let's shoot some hippies.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a question. I don't know about you. Joel, and maybe you, Sal, but when I was younger and I was in middle school, in math class, we had to watch this stupid series called Mathnet, which was like Dragnet, but with math.
Oh, no.
It was as terrible as you imagine it being. It was really bad.
Is that on YouTube? I think we got a riff Mathnet.
Yeah,
Oh,
I did not watch Mathnet. That's amazing. That's
a good question. Is it on YouTube?
There were two stoic like detectives who were like,
"Oh yeah,
we got to crunch the numbers."
Yeah, they were like trying to figure out like math calculations and stuff, and it's like this sucks.
And they
like,
had
nobody cared.
That sucks.
Great.
Oh, it is. 41 videos.
Good to know.
Well, shit, this is just the show today, people. It's just
you know what? Maybe we'll throw a link in the description box below this video.
We're all just going to go watch Mathnet.
Yeah, we've lost Rob to Mathnet. Rob's like, yo, I'm going to learn some numbers. Get out of my way. Here we go.
It's equally lame. In Canada, we had, a bunch of educational videos to try and make kids learn French with the Quebecois character, a bonhomme de bage, who's basically just like a big French snowman, who's like a guy in a suit who comes and has adventures with children.
I don't care for that. It reminds me of...
neither did I.
It reminds me of Muzzie. Does anybody remember Muzzie?
Yes, Muzzie.
Because when you jumped into French, I was like, all I remember is the commercial for Muzzie and the un, deux, trois, like counting, where they're like, Muzzie will teach you languages. Yeah.
Oh God, Muzzie.
Good old Muzzie.
I gotta look that up now. That sounds amazing.
It's just a commercial for these terrible, like, hooked on phonics, but using a colorful, like, Moomin type character. But anyway, we just wanted to say, like, we love you, Adam. We're gonna miss you. Thank you for everything. I don't know who's gonna be mayor of Quahog now, but
yeah, will they address that in the show? I wonder, because he became such a huge part of it.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's French they're speaking. And no, these children are not French. They're American.
Yes!
Oh, Muzzie. God.
Yeah.
Here,
this show also brought to you by Muzzie.
We gotta watch this, man. You gotta put this on the screen. We gotta watch this.
What? All right.
This is too good. This is too good to lose.
Oh, the Muzzie commercial was amazing.
All right, I'll throw up. Can I do that? I don't have broadcast rights for Muzzie.
Does anyone?
I have no idea. Well, you guys should watch it. The link's in the chat. You guys should watch it. It's amazing. It's funny. All
right, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna throw on Muzzie. Hang on a minute.
There we go. See, I want to fucking see this too.
Incredible. I always thought she was one of the chicks from the Golden Girls.
Who?
The commercial chick.
Oh. Let me see here. I gotta get rid of.
God, man, this just screams 1980s, 1990s, man.
Oh yeah. Well, from what they're wearing.
Trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You reminded me of Hooked on Phonics. Do those things like even have commercials anymore?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's see. All right, I don't know if you guys know about it. There's actually a website that is like so much better than Hooked on Phonics.
All right, here we go. It's free. This is Muzzie.
Yes.
Je suis la jeune fille.
Oh, wow.
No, these children aren't French. They're American. And they've acquired their amazing new language skills from Muzzie, the remarkable new video language program for children developed by the British Broadcasting Corporation. With this unique BBC language course, children learn a second language with incredible ease.
All right.
We did that for you, people.
You're welcome. Now it's up to you to go get the rest of Muzzie.
Oh, dude, Live Mocha was a website where you could learn foreign languages for free.
Yeah.
And then they were
Rosetta
bought
Stone
out.
Probably destroyed them.
They were bought out by Rosetta Stone. Oh, they reopened it. Hello Lingo.
Oh, cool.
Live Mocha.
All right, let's move on from languages. Joel, what's on the docket for today?
Well, of course, as I'm sure many of our fans will know, E3 was this week. I know I was glued to my set there watching all the different conferences. And there was actually some really good comic book and superhero representation at these conferences. We, of course, got a big trailer and a story trailer for the new Marvel vs. Capcom. Did any of you guys get a chance to see that one?
I did. I saw the trailer, and they also announced apparently there's going to be like a story demo that's out now.
Yes.
I think I want to play that. I haven't played it yet, but I'm going to check it out. A lot of Avengers, no X-Men, obviously. We all knew that was coming. Let's not even worry about it. But it looks fun. Obviously, we don't get any gameplay footage, but as I recall, with Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, it pretty much looks like the cutscenes. Like it's kind of like animated, cell shaded kind of style. But it looks
sure.
cool. I always want to like fighting games, and then I get ruined.
You say that, but I saw you on an arcade machine when we were in Seattle, and you were just wrecking on that one.
That's true. Yeah, as long as they like, they have a half-life of about 20 years. So, as long as it's not new, like, and not Street Fighter, because that I'll be destroyed.
Yeah. The people who are good at those are really good at that. There was also a wonderfully fan-fiction-y moment in the trailer where Rocket Raccoon is like, "Hey, Dante of Devil May Cry fame, give me your gun." So he holds Ebony and Ivory, and I'm like, I should hate this, but I kind of love it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing Tiffany's reaction to that. She was a big old-school Devil May Cry fan. She doesn't like the new Dante, but like the old Dante.
No one does. No one likes new Dante.
Yeah. Nobody likes new Dante. Get out of here, Dante!
Get out of here, man.
Well, it was a huge thing with their fan base. They had to basically re-release DMC. It's like, look, we gave him the white hair back. We're sorry we changed too much all at once. Apparently, you all took this very seriously.
Yeah, you took this parody character very seriously. I like the fact that the Avengers have a prison cell in the conference room for them to keep Thanos. Thanos is literally just like in the room, just with a big screen in front of him.
So you can throw your snack wrappers at him.
Yeah. I can imagine the Avengers like having a meeting where they're like, "Okay, guys, we're gonna have to like really buckle down and fight Kang and stuff like that. But it shouldn't be any harder than defeating Thanos, right, Thanos?" Thanos being like, "I will destroy you," and you're like, "Yeah, sure thing, Thanos. You just enjoy being in a cell that's like literally like 1.5 by 2."
I like to imagine Thanos gets really pissed off, and so like when they're having like a touching team moment, Thanos just pulls down his pants and presses his purple ass against the cell
you're
wall.
saying he's gonna press ham?
That would be hilarious.
Ah, yes, a pressed ham, a galactic pressed ham.
A Titan ham. Yeah,
That's the one.
But yeah, I probably won't buy this.
I'm
definitely
want to
gonna
give
get
it a try, if only because playing Injustice did really well for me and fans seem to like it. But this really doesn't look like an Injustice. This looks to be a whole other thing.
No, this looks more silly and more fun. And I don't mean that like it'll be more fun to play this than Injustice. I think Injustice has really great mechanics. I enjoyed playing Injustice, despite the fact that I'm terrible at fighting games. But this looks like it's going to be more like silly and ridiculous, more about combos and such.
Yeah,
combo breaker,
flashing lights. Yeah,
Dante Turtle. Splooge.
Yay!
First one of the show.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
First splooge is always the best.
You get the fresh one there, Dante.
You get the fresh splooge.
And also, speaking of video games, too, obviously the big one, and it was big because Sony chose this to end with their conference, which I was not expecting, and I was pleasantly surprised. The new Spider-Man game for the PS4. Yeah. We got a very big vertical slice of it.
It looks great.
Did you watch all the way to the very end?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
But how great is it even the video game trailers for Marvel properties have post-credit stingers now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Plus,
yeah, go ahead. Oh, no, you please.
Oh, I'm glad we're getting Miles Morales, man. I'm really excited about that. I hope he becomes Spider-Man.
He doesn't look like Miles Morales, really. Like, he looks like a guy.
He doesn't look
like the design of Miles Morales. But no doubt. I mean, here's the thing. Every Spider-Man game, at least to my recollection, post like Genesis era, has a great opportunity where you you can always get like 1 million costumes. So no matter what, you will be able to play as the Miles Morales costume, but the question is whether Miles Morales will actually be a playable character or not.
Professor Thorgy had an interesting theory on this, because in the trailer he's battling the inner demons and Mr. Negative, and the trailer ends with Spider-Man getting touched. And I'm like, oh, does Spider-Man get inverted? Does he become evil Spider-Man and Miles has to stop him?
I don't know about that.
That's not what happens. He gets touched, touched, and he becomes a black man. He becomes Miles Morales.
Because that is the opposite, no.
That would be hilarious.
That would be pretty messed up.
Man, they're really thinking outside the box on this one.
No, I think that's why he has the giant white spider. It's so that when he becomes inverted, it becomes a black spider. It's so that you can differentiate between which Spider-Man you're playing as.
Well, supposedly, there's a real costume upgrade mechanic, and you can actually dress Spider-Man your way in the game.
I like that. Yeah. There's a lot of things I liked. I was wrong about both of them when I first watched the trailer. First of all, I thought Josh Keaton from Spectacular Spider-Man was voicing him. He's not, but he sounds just like him, so fine.
Yeah. It was Yuri Lowenthal, right?
Yeah. And the second is that I thought he was saying Fury into the headset first goes onto the scene. So I was like, oh, cool, it's part of the greater Marvel universe. We're going to get, like, references to the whole Marvel spectrum. But it wasn't Fury, it was Yuri, and he was...
Yuri.
Oh, yeah, Yuri Watanabe.
Yeah.
Well, I actually quite liked her. They gave her a hell of a send-off in that story, the Spiral by Jerry Conway, and we haven't seen her since.
No.
Yeah, and we never will. Thank God.
That's right.
Okay. Dude, Sal was like, man, you got to start. Like, I was like, man, what do I start with Spider-Man? He's like, start with Spider-Man big time. And then I started reading it.
Yep.
And every video that I've done that had, like, Yuri Watanabe, I was like, and we skipped that because who cares? So
Yeah, all of her stories are boring, and who cares?
Yeah, she was
For a
boring.
boring character, she got a pretty good send-off, though, I'll say.
At least she got a send-off. It wasn't like that poor detective during the Straczynski run, Lamont, who his send-off was... I think he gave Mary Jane some money during the, like, Civil War post-unmasking era. And that's it.
Wow. And that was it?
Yeah, and then you never see him again. I'm like, that sucks.
Money.
That was supposed to be his commission. That was supposed to be Spider-Man's Commissioner Gordon. Nice try, Straczynski.
I do not believe that Sony owns Wilson Fisk because he was originally a Daredevil villain, and then they rolled him over into Spider-Man afterwards. So I'm pretty sure he just stayed with Daredevil, which would make sense.
Yeah, which is fine with me. Like, I'm glad that we're getting... The fact that we get Wilson... I think that Marvel video games work differently. Like, I think they have everybody. So I think if they wanted to, like, the X-Men could show up in this Spider-Man game. The fact that... Because, like, Sony's been making these Spider-Man games for a while, and, it doesn't necessarily have to do with the movies. They're just using, like, visual elements from them.
I think the deal is, yes, they can use everybody, but they still might try and dissuade them from using certain characters.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, obviously, when you look at, like, the Marvel Capcom game, there ain't no X-Men, and it's not because they can't use them, it's because they don't want you to want to see them. So, they're like, well, you could play as Rocket. That's cool.
I appreciated the deep dive on villains, so it's not like the ones we've seen a million times, like, oh, he's got to fight the Shocker and the Rhino in this video game. It's like, yeah, why not fight the Inner Demons and Mr.
I feel like I feel like you're still gonna fight Rhino and the Shocker.
Oh, God, of course you are, because they make for amazing boss battles. Why would you not have them?
And the mechanics look like it's basically Arkham.
Which Amazing Spider-Man 2 was basically Arkham too.
And
I am not upset at all. It looks insanely good.
That's all I want. I want Spider-Man Arkham Asylum. That's all I want to play. So if that's what this is, I'm down.
These are the guys who made the infamous games, right?
I think so. I don't remember.
Second Son? Yeah.
Yeah, they do a good job making you feel like a powerful superhero.
Cool.
I feel like on the Nintendo Switch, we're just going to get like a remaster of the Superman Nintendo 64 game where you just fly through hoops.
That
and
sounds
everybody
great.
hated it.
Yeah, that game is it's used as some forms of torture in like lesser developed nations. Trust me. But yeah, so Spider-Man, I'm getting it, no question. We have a PS4. It's gonna happen, and it comes out in like what, 2 years?
Yeah, something like that. That's the thing. That's the thing about E3. It's a trade show, so hey, get hype for these things in 2 years.
Yeah.
It's really painful as a Kingdom Hearts fan, where it's like, hey, here's a new trailer for Kingdom Hearts. It'll come out between now and death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I'm just waiting for that. Like they release it. Like the release date is like at some point in time.
Yep.
TBD.
or Duke Nukem when it's done.
At least it came out. It's too bad it sucked.
Yeah.
Man,
God, it was terrible.
I was so excited for Duke 3D. We got like the special edition. We got like with a little bust and an art book. And then I started playing through. I got like halfway through, and I'm like, I think I hate this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was bad. Yeah. It was terrible.
The real thing is, I had to carry. You couldn't carry all your weapons.
No.
Yeah, the original
Duke
Nukem
Call of Duty
3D
disease.
was amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. The original Duke Nukem 3D was amazing.
Agreed.
It was Doom spinoff, and it was awesome, and I loved it.
Yeah. I will say the new Doom is great.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
They went back to the well for that one, and Wolfenstein is back to being great too for the same reasons. Millions of weapons, health pickup, maze-like levels.
I want that. That's all I want.
Oh, that's right. We get a new Dragon Ball game. Did any of you guys play the Dragon Ball game? Did you play Xenoverse?
Yes. I've never played the Dragon Ball games.
I didn't play Xenoverse. I played every Tenkaichi and Budokai though.
Yeah. Xenoverse was fun for like a day or two, and then MMO. It was just the same thing all the time. Yep. Having said that, like it was kind of cool to go to like the little shops and whatever it is, and just see like a mountain of people, but you couldn't interact with any of them. Mm-mm. And that was the thing that I didn't like about it, is there was no interaction. I was like, well, they all might as well just be NPCs for all the good that it does.
Yeah.
So I just kind of got bored and just turned it off and never played it again.
So what's the new Dragon Ball Z game?
The new one is a tournament game, I think, isn't it?
It's a 3-on-3 Guilty Gear style fighter with like really awesome 2.5 animations where it's like it almost looks better than the show it's based on.
Cool.
Wow.
That sounds fun.
Wow.
And everything's very over the top and very cool. Yet again, I want to play this. Man, I suck at fighting games. That's why I like Tenkaichi and Budokai, because you could suck because all the move inputs were incredibly easy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's fine.
I was just going to move on, so...
Oh, yeah, that's cool. That works.
All right. Joel, what's up?
Well, there was another big thing that happened this week. You might have heard of it. A certain little movie teaser dropped, a certain character out there, a certain royal character. He's a king named after an animal. He's pretty popular.
Oh,
Namor!
Dr. Doom!
Yeah, that
Namor the
guy.
Submariner. That's what he is. He's Marvel's Aquaman.
Yeah.
As DC fans who don't know what's going on like to say. That is not true at all.
No.
No, it's Black Panther, everybody. We
Yeah.
finally got
Black
a teaser
Panther.
for it.
Dude, it looked amazing. That dude,
It
the
did.
music, dude, it looks solid. Like, one thing I'm hoping, and it looks like we're gonna see it, but one thing I'm hoping is that we get to see Wakanda, and it's just like this stupidly advanced city.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, how can a city like this exist and no one know? Like, this is crazy.
Because we're that good.
Yeah. I love it. Some of the CG looked unfinished, which is fine. Like, take your time, but I loved it. I'm like, I'm down. I'm down for this movie. I can't wait to see it. Like, it looks fun. Yeah, it looks stylish. I like Andy Serkis when he plays like a dude who sounds like Andy Serkis. Like when he's not like either playing an ape or some weird thing. Like when Andy Serkis is just doing his thing, I'm like, cool, I'll see that. And I like him as Claw, so I can't wait to see how that turns out.
Also, we got Watson back too from Sherlock in Civil War. I wasn't expecting to see him again.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it was weird. It was a weird casting to get him. The hell's his name?
Oh, no, but he played Everett K. Ross.
Everett Ross, yeah. But I was like, that's weird they chose that actor, because it's like, how many movies can this dude be shoehorned into?
It's weird that they chose Everett Ross. Yeah. I remember seeing him, and like as soon as I saw him, I was like, there's no way that's Everett Ross when they showed him in the Civil War trailer. And I was like, well, I mean, this is a new guy that's being introduced, and Black Panther is a new guy, like Spider-Man. But at that point, we didn't realize Spider-Man, like what his capacity was going to be.
No.
And so it was like, okay. And I was like, there's no way this is Everett K. Ross. And I'm looking up at Martin Freeman. That's who it is.
Martin Freeman.
Thank you.
And I was like, wow, they're really digging for characters to throw in there.
Yeah.
It was weird, when they brought him in. What was the name of Black Panther's that inner group that were like those super good fighters, like the best fighters in all of Wakanda?
Oh, the Dora Major.
Yeah, I guess that's what it was. I don't remember.
His female furies, his lady army.
Yes.
Oh,
dude, I'm really hoping we get to see them in action, because that would be impressive.
We got to see a couple ladies kicking ass in like awesome dresses, and apparently, from what I understand, they have big plans for like the main lady. She might actually show up other places too.
Yes, that's exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah, Malache.
My question is, will Captain America be in it?
I don't think he will. I think they'll reference him. Mm-hmm. I think that they will say, hey, like, like
he just left.
Things are going on. Yeah, or they're just like, where's Captain? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw that, if like he's sitting in a room, like sitting in an airport or something like that, and it's like, where's Captain America gone? And then like some report on Tony Stark. But I have a feeling this movie is going to be almost totally self-contained.
Okay.
Probably should
just
be.
Because of the fact that Black Panther is too important and too significant to kind of like bootstrap him to other people. Because if they start bringing in like Captain America and Iron Man, it'll be cool to see the shared universe. But to the average moviegoer, they'll be like, just give us Black Panther. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
And it'll feel like Marvel's coming across as basically saying Black Panther wouldn't do well on his own without us including everybody else.
Not a message you want to send.
Yeah, exactly. Not a message you want to send. It would be kind of disappointing. The Midnight Angels. There we go. Thank you.
The Midnight Angels were the extra on top of the Dora Major. They're like getting the crazy flight armor. You know what would be great? Because obviously he's hanging out there. Like you see King T'Challa walking around, and he passes Bucky, who's on ice, and he's just like resting his drink.
I guarantee Bucky will be in the movie. Like either he'll be just a cameo, or he'll be I think he'll be like a character. Like I think Sebastian Stan is in like he's still got like 4 more movies under his contract. I think
he has an extensive contract, like more extensive than anyone else.
How is Wakanda so advanced if they have no one to trade with? Like, you need raw materials. They aren't all in Wakanda, surely. Yeah, they have vibranium.
Yeah, they got vibranium.
And also, they're clearly part of the UN as well, because we saw in Civil War.
I thought they were...
vibranium's like one of the rarest metals on the planet, and they own, like, all of it.
Yeah, and the most versatile, and they have flying cars. Like, they were already a technologically advanced society before we even had, like, cars. So...
Although it seems the tech stuff they're keeping secret... Because the way Ulysses S. Claw makes it sound to Everett is that, no one actually knew how advanced Wakanda actually was. That they were putting out this image of being a third world nation when they actually weren't.
Yes, exactly.
Which actually works perfectly. Tweep! Subscribe for 2 months in a row.
Nice.
Thanks, Gold Dust.
Splooge.
Nice. I thought you were just yelling "tweep" like "tweep." That's what I do now. That's that's my wubba lubba dub dub.
No, that actually makes perfect sense. If they're just like broadcasting this image of like, hey, like we're just this poor nation and we don't really have anything worth having, and it's just like, hey, we're like the Congo, like that would make perfect sense to me, because it'd be the best image to put off, because that's how they did it for years. It was like this super secretive place that nobody could get in. Then like the Fantastic Four were invited one day, and they were invited by a guy who was wearing like ceremonial like what looked like African garb. So he literally just looked like a guy from just some African tribe somewhere. And so that's one of the things that I'm really, really hoping that they pull off pretty well in this, is that they really kind of do Wakanda justice, because this will be people's first introduction to it, and there's no going back. If they totally screw the pooch, then Wakanda and Black Panther are just kind of screwed forever, and there wouldn't really be a whole lot you could do with it. But
I think they nailed the costume design, kind of that like mix of old world meets like, science fiction technology. You see the one guy in a really slick lime green suit, but he's got like one of those face discs going on.
Yeah. Interesting.
Oh, getting artsy with a lobster.
That guy rocks.
Subscribe for 11 months in a row.
Oh!
Oh, he's bringing it down. Bringing it down.
Splooge.
Nice.
These are getting more outrageous.
You know what's going to happen next with the next one? Rob's going to have to get out of his chair like a running star.
He just takes off his headphones and just leaves.
Just come running. He
takes off his headphones. He goes downstairs. He goes into his car. He drives to Arby's. Comes back.
Yeah.
He gets a burger.
Oh, dude!
What?
Will Black Panther have the Soul Gem? Okay, Sal. Joel.
That makes sense, right?
Work with Necropolis. The Necropolis. Wouldn't that make perfect sense?
Agreed.
They've got the Necropolis. And it's like, this is where I commune with like all the former Black Panthers.
Yeah.
It's like, but how do you do this? Like, I commune with their spirits. This is how we commune with their spirits, or something along those lines. And it's just the Soul Stone in there.
Or transversely,
he goes into Soul World. That'd be insane.
That would be amazing. Or transversely, the thing on his neck where it's like, oh, this is the Soul Stone. It allows me to access the power and experiences of all the Black Panthers before me.
That works too.
That would work. Like that'd be the place to do it, because I'd love the idea of the Necropolis. I was talking about that on like a Periscope or something like that. I was running over Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers, and I brought you up, Sal. I was like, we were on the podcast one day, and we were talking about that, and then like Black Panther turns to Namor, and he was like, "No, I'm the king of the dead." Back when he had like the Marvel Zombies, when he like harnessed the Marvel Zombies, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
That was a wholly earned and epic moment. I applaud Secret Wars for so many moments. I never have, like, oh my godded more at Black Panther than I did thanks to Jonathan Hickman in Secret Wars.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I was freaking out in that trailer video, because it started out as me celebrating, and then it just turned into me like, here are all the best moments of Black Panther, and I started talking about like Secret Wars. And I was like, there's this amazing scene where Doctor Strange is like, hey, if Doctor Doom kills me, which he does, he was like, I have a way for you to defeat him, which is the Infinity Gauntlet. And I was like, there's this amazing scene where Black Panther's just like, oh,
yeah,
got the gauntlet in his hand.
Yeah. No,
he also had his
thing
Aragorn moment too, where he called in all the ghosts as well because he was the king of the dead.
Yeah,
God, it was cool.
Very cool. Yeah. I hope we get a moment like that. That'd be awesome. I'm down.
Dude, I would love to see that depiction where it's just like this massive battle, like Maestro, he's like, Hulks, attack! And like all these Hulks just start attacking. You know, yeah, that'd be that's the way you would do Doctor Doom. Just do some movie where he just gets like this insane amount of power. You know, if Marvel ever got him back, like the original Secret Wars story or something like that, or just do Secret Wars itself. You know, and then just like have this massive battle where like everybody tries to take him on and they lose. Yeah. That would be nice.
We could get a variant on the "I'm the King of the Dead" moment in Infinity War if like Thanos, let's say, like lays waste to this populace and the heroes are down and like it's just Black Panther versus Thanos and Thanos is like, what do you have? And he's like, I'm king of the dead, bitch. And then like all the spirits of all the fallen under Thanos rise and he just like, you know, you could have a moment like that. Mm-hmm. Be cool. I'm down.
Another thing we should probably talk about, too, is we actually got a ever so brief glimpse of who I can only assume will probably be the main villain of the movie. It's Michael B. Jordan as Eric Killmonger.
Oh, my God, dude, he looks amazing.
Looking fly as hell, looking like Prince a little bit.
Yeah!
Dude. I don't think they could have chosen a better villain. I mean, I feel like Michael B. Jordan would play a perfect Eric Killmonger.
Yeah.
I would rather be somebody a little like bulkier, but honestly, I really can't complain.
It's a great actor.
If I remember Eric Killmonger, yeah, he was just like that great big huge Hulk of a guy.
Yeah.
But it'll still work because I think what we're going to be dealing with this movie is really less emphasis on like brawn and more emphasis on like mysticism / fighting styles.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
which we get a little of in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I tell people like I'll see anything with Michael B. Jordan. I don't care what it is.
you gotta love that this is the second Human Torch that Marvel Disney have now redeemed for being in crappy Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah,
that's true.
We're 2 for 2.
You got a Human Torch? We got yourself a job.
Yeah,
and a good one too.
I wonder who. Okay, so that scene where Michael B. Jordan is presumably being brought before Black Panther, as Eric Killmonger, there is a guy on his right side who looks like the dude from Get Out.
Might be the actor, who knows?
That'd be cool.
Hold on a second.
This is Ryan Coogler who's doing this, who also did Creed, am I right?
Is that right?
I want to say yes, it is. Here, I have IMDb open. I'll see for myself. Yes, it is Ryan Coogler.
Woo!
Good. Oh, he did Creed?
Creed
yes, I'm pretty sure he did.
Creed is...
Dude, I love Creed.
Yeah,
so he's already got previous experience with Michael B. Jordan. Well, that'll just make it easier for the directing process.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Wow. Also, in a less exciting but still kind of cool, I dug the poster.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Of T'Challa just on the throne, helmet off. I'm like, this looks cool. I'm down. Like,
tells you everything.
For me, like the image that I always have of Black Panther is him on the throne, kind of like blurring the line between leader and superhero, and I'm like, yeah, I want to see that. Like, I'm gonna be first in line.
And that seems to be the overall theme of the movie. My favorite piece of narration: you are a good man, T'Challa, which means it will be hard for you to be a good king.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, I have faith that it's gonna be done right, and like I'm. Let me tell you something, man. Like, I think this movie's gonna be done right, and when it does. Caleb Xavier.
Oh, he's charging up. He's charging his laser. Going full gold dust.
But no, like I think it's good. I think this will probably be one of the best movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That's a bold statement. I hope you're right.
I know it is, man. But I mean, because think of all the uniqueness that's coming with this.
Yeah.
I mean, we get a character that we only really got to see in Civil War for a little while, who had some amazing fighting action scenes.
Yeah.
We get to learn more about his culture. We get to learn about the most technologically advanced city in the world. This is the first time they're introducing gods, because remember, we get the Panther god Bast.
Yeah.
So it's not cosmic entities; it's actual gods. We get to see some pretty cool. I think we're going to see some pretty cool stuff. I hope we actually get to like see Bast as opposed to just like they reference the Panther God and it's just like we commune with the Panther God. We've never met it, we have no idea what it's like or anything, but we just commune with it.
Room for sequels.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's something that would kind of have to go into the first movie though. So
yeah.
I'm trying to find the budget for this movie, and I just cannot for some reason.
It looked expensive.
But I want to know, like, how much it cost to make this movie, because it sounds like...
I mean, Infinity War Parts 1 and 2 are costing a combined $1 billion to make.
I'm so on board.
Jeez, this movie's going to be 99% CGI.
Yep.
But you also, see, that makes me hopeful, because we're sitting here talking about the Infinity Gauntlet, so, like, I imagine things getting crazy. They're just, like, throwing planets,
God.
and Thanos, and just an insane amount of stuff. Like, I was thinking about that, and I talked about that on the Periscope, and I was like, I don't think people are going to understand how grandiose the Infinity War movie will be until they see it.
Yeah.
And even like once it's done, they'll go back and see it again just to get the full effect. Because here's the deal, guys. Like those of you guys out there in the chat, and we'll run over Infinity Gauntlet again once we get around to it.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Like, imagine a person with power that's so extreme that you just have entities that are just throwing planets at him to try to defeat him. Like, that, I think, if they include that would be the single greatest display of the power that he has.
Agreed.
Just hurling planets at him, and there's nothing they can do to stop him.
Yeah.
Everything else would just be unimaginable power that wouldn't have, like, a frame of reference.
Right.
So that's when it gets kind of crazy. But, no, I mean, it's it's going to be nuts.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
Did you see, too, that the ignorant non-comic fans have already spoken up about Black Panther, being like, that title frightens me, so I imagine in the next coming bit, us comic fans will need to explain, well, actually, Black Panther, the character, predates the party by a considerable margin.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that frustrating pain in the... I mean, like, I remember when Daredevil came out, the first movie with Ben Affleck, and my friend who had no experience with comics was like, wow, way to go PC, they're making a blind superhero? And I'm like, do you not know who Daredevil is?
Yeah. Oh my God, Captain America? Yeah, all that political nonsense.
Wow, Captain America, huh? You couldn't be more original. Like,
just like, dude, just make a video series where you just like talk down to people who are like that. It's like, look, I understand you guys don't know any better, so I'm here to educate you so you won't walk around and be so stupid.
Right, so you won't make me frustrated.
Yeah, but not like that. I mean, we don't call them stupid.
Not to their face, at least.
Hey, you big bunch of dummies. Here's everything you need
what
to
up,
know
dummies?
Black Panther.
Listen up, goofballs.
Yeah, you big
what
goofs.
up, what up, jackasses? Here we go. I'm gonna educate you.
That's the title of the show right there. Listen up, goofballs. You're wrong about Black Panther. This is why.
Listen up, goofs. That one actually probably turned into a viral series, to be honest. If you marketed it right, it would probably blow up.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of searchability.
So what else besides Black Panther? Is there anything else we got?
That was basically it.
All
this
right.
was a very quiet week. Obviously, we have Comic-Con coming up very soon, and I'm sure we'll be inundated with news.
Yeah.
And do we want to turn this into a prediction thing? What do we predict we'll see from Comic-Con this year?
I think we'll get an Infinity War teaser.
Yes, no question.
We'll get something related to Infinity War.
Yep.
I think it's too big of a talking point, and Marvel is riding the hype train, because you got to think, like, we have Spider-Man coming out in July. We have Punisher coming out in November, and they have Thor coming out in November.
Yeah.
DC had, like, Wonder Woman, like, they just had that.
Yep.
And then they've got, like, nothing until Justice League.
Yeah.
Like,
Justice League undergoing apparently a considerable amount of reshoots right now, and one of the big rumor of the reshoots is they're like, okay, people really seem to like the Amazons from Wonder Woman. Can we work the Amazons into Justice League somehow, even if it's just for a cameo?
No,
because people
Wonder
like
Woman
them, Rob. We
because,
need to see them
just
again.
because you like.
Wonder Woman was great because of the development, because of the character. Not really the Amazons. I mean, Robin Wright was cool. Give her more action roles.
Yeah.
I don't need to see Robin Wright in Justice League unless she's like waving a tissue and wishing Wonder Woman farewell. Like,
Right.
you know, wishing you the best, or sending her a postcard or something. I don't need to see her in that.
No. Like, we don't need a reshoot just so Robin Wright can just go, what? And then we don't see her again. Like, no. Now, that said, we don't know necessarily what the extent of the reshoots are. We know that Joss Whedon's been involved for a while. We have reason to assume that Justice League will probably be pretty good. And hopefully we're right. And hopefully they're right.
It's true, you know, there's vastly differing calls on. Some people are like, oh, well, you know, Joss Whedon's just filming some more interpersonal character scenes. Some people are saying like, oh no, they're refilming like 70% of the movie.
Yeah,
actually,
I've heard both of those rumors. I can't even speculate on that.
There's enough evidence to support either. Actually, it comes down to what you believe.
I would want so on that front, I bet DC Warner Brothers has some kind of. Not huge, not like Marvel's gonna friggin' drop the mic on a like. You're gonna see Star-Lord and Iron Man and Spider-Man like do something together. You know, it's gonna be like
always do.
You're gonna pull your hair out because there's gonna be this amazing like teaser moment.
Remember a few years ago when frickin' Rooker came in full Yondu gear and took
over that was awesome. But I think that DC Warner Brothers will not be outdone, and they're gonna release something. Maybe it won't be like as extensive, but I bet we'll get like a scene. Like I bet I could see Justice League releasing like a full scene, probably with Aquaman in it.
I would personally like to see some stuff from that supposed TV app they're working on. Let's see how far along the Titans show is. And hey, do you have some Young Justice animatics you can give me, please?
Yeah. I bet that we don't see any of that.
No, I mean, you're probably right.
Yeah.
I mean, this is wishful thinking.
Also, we're going to see probably a lot of announcements about, or we're going to see some more, some post Secret Empire Marvel announcements. Probably we're going to be looking at what the Marvel Universe is going to look like for the next conceivable year.
Do they even announce those at Comic-Con anymore? I know they did a lot for New York and Chicago.
They might wait for New York. But I feel like...
It seems like they don't actually talk about comics at Comic-Con anymore, which is so depressing.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know, man. Like, you know what I think they're going to announce? Cartigue! Just subscribed.
Oh, nice.
Good for him.
Welcome.
Glorious. He's in there.
Yay.
That was full on like Craig Son YMCA.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh man. But yeah, no, I've the ball is in Marvel's court at this point. I mean, it's literally just ripe for the pickings, because I think right now it's too early for DC to really like have anything huge.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they were like, "Hey, here's the trailer," you know, for Green Lantern, you know, it would just kind of be like this little blip, you know, or something like that. It would be
probably do a Wonder Woman victory lap, I imagine. It's like, "Hey, we made one you liked, huh, guys?"
Yeah, maybe like Gal Gadot will be there.
I'd like that.
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they already like that's kind of the crazy thing, is because it seems like good timing, because I just looked this up. They already started filming for Infinity War in January.
Yeah.
The first one. So they've got footage.
I would say the movie's probably done shooting.
Maybe. Yeah, it might be in post-production.
So it's like, if you put CG shit right there, we can release a scene or like a teaser or something. Like, all that needs to be is Tony Stark saying something snappy at Star-Lord, and you've just made 6 million views in the first 90 seconds.
Oh, dude, it'd be nuts. Yeah, it would explode. Let me tell you something, man. Like, when the day that trailer, if they end up releasing something for Infinity War, the day that teaser comes out, I'm releasing a video of something crazy. The craziest moments from Infinity War that you would never believe. Like, you won't believe number 10. Like, it
just clickbait the fuck out. Mm-hmm. Also, be sure in your tags to put Boss Baby and Fidget Spinner in there too while you're at it.
Yeah, if you want.
Just grab like a random image, just put a red circle on it.
Yep, red circle. Put a big set of boobs. And an arrow pointing between the cleavage. And you should you
But when is the Boss Baby crossing over with Avengers? Maybe I should make that movie. Or that video.
But no, I mean it's I mean, like there's probably scenes from Punisher that are probably going to be there, because Punisher comes out in November, which I'm extremely excited for. Honestly, man, and I feel like Netflix was the best move to make with the Punisher. Easily. Like, I feel that was the best decision they could make, because they've got time. They've got, what is it, like 8, 9, somewhere between 8 and 13 episodes that they're doing.
Yeah.
I think Defenders is the short one. I think this
Defenders
one
is 8, and I think Punisher's back to 13.
Okay, so they've got time. They've got basically 13 hours to expand on this character. And I think it's going to be absolutely nuts. I really want to cover Punisher Max, but with YouTube living in the 1980s, it's not possible to do. So,
it's a violent book. There's a lot of red stuff in that.
It's a violent book. Yeah, the Slavers arc is the Slavers arc would be the one that would break it. Like that's the one that's over the top.
Probably some of the most hardcore stuff I've read in a comic. Even to this day, I'm like, this is pretty fucking sick right here.
Yeah, it's brutal. But it's the best Punisher run ever that there's ever been.
Yeah.
So but no, I imagine we'll see some Punisher stuff. I definitely think we'll see something about Infinity War. It may not be a teaser, it may be, but I think we'll see something about Infinity War. I mean, there'll be something out there because it's not like they don't know that Comic-Con's coming, and it's not like they didn't know the release schedule. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just grabbed like a CGI scene that was already done.
Yes.
And was like totally separate from all the other characters. It was just like some scene with Thanos or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the idea of teasing what characters are going to be in there. Like, could we see Mephisto? I mean, those are the kind of things.
It would be nice to at least see Thanos do or say anything for more than 12 seconds.
Yeah. That's what's going to be exciting about this. He's going to get you're going to be tired of Thanos by the time this movies get done.
Yeah.
Josh Brolin comes out dressed as Thanos.
Or Cable.
That too. Oh crap! I showed up at the wrong one. Damn it.
That'd be funny.
Well, I think we'll also get Phase 4 stuff where they're like, "Here's what we have planned for Phase 4."
Yeah. It's called Spider-Man Phase 4, and it's.
Yeah, it's called everything about Spider-Man. Like Web of Spider-Man and Superior Spider-Man and Spectacular Spider-Man.
Spider-Man and the New Avengers.
Yeah, I'm down. I don't care about that. That's fine with me.
Spider-Man versus Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. We got him back just for this, so our Spider-Man can wail on him for a little bit.
Yeah,
but just that for 2 hours.
I mean, I think in terms of the shows, I think there's stuff that's par for the course. Flash, Supergirl, different things like that. I think that kind of goes without saying.
Yeah,
I'm curious about the Flash. About what they're going to do, because all he's been doing is fighting speedsters.
Yeah, this last season was weak.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping it doesn't turn into that, where it's not really speedsters anymore.
They're swearing that Thinker will be the villain of next season, and they're kind of fusing a couple versions of the Thinker together, where he's a criminal genius who helps out other criminals. He's psychic. They're bringing back the Rogues, so I think they're going to do like a Rogues Rebellion, Rogues Revolution, where the Thinker's actually manipulating them into doing stuff, and he's being master planner essentially.
That'd be cool.
What was it? Was it like the Rogues Reloaded? Is that what that story was?
Something like that. They have so many Revolution, Reloaded,
a lot of alliteration with the Rogues.
Yes, they're big fans.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean there's some pretty stellar stuff that I think we're going to see from Marvel's end. But again, with DC, there's a lot of stuff coming down the line. So I'm still kind of excited. I mean,
Dark
with
Days.
Justice League, I'm going to go see it.
Yes,
Dark
that's
Days.
right. Which comes out this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then there's also the comic side too. So I imagine there'll be some more information coming out about Batman Metal.
Yep.
Because I'm really excited to see what's going to be going on with this. I mean, I know it's going to center on Batman, but it's like a wholly separate brand and universe from what I understand. So I'm kind of curious to see how it all goes.
I'm excited. Well, I can guarantee we should dedicate an entire episode after they make the announcements to just like talking about them, just picking them all.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure we will.
But I guess with that being said, I just stole Rob's thing. I'm like, well, with that being said, I'm going to bring this video to a close.
Yeah.
But hey, thanks a lot for hanging out with us, everybody, and we'll see you guys next week with another episode of the Weekly Pull. Gentlemen.
Yeah, this was a pretty short episode.
Yeah, hey, well, you know what? This is tight. It was just an hour. Boom, hour of show. Yeah. But, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We're just going to end? Wow, just like that?
Well, all right, well, you want to take it?
Wow, everybody, we just bail out.
we can wrap it up. We got time. We could do a little round out.
No, it's cool.
We rarely ever hit just an hour. Do you have something coming out from your channel?
You want to mention something, Rob?
No, I mean not really. I mean, there's Spider-Man stuff for the. Okay, special thanks to Sal. Sal, man, I owe you guys. So
thank you, man.
Those of you guys out there in Twitch land, I was trying to figure out. Like, I wanted to cover Clone Saga, but there is like, I don't know, 99% nonsense, and like 1% like things that matter. And so I was like, all right, Sal, like if let's say that like Clone Saga was released today, where Marvel does like issues 1 through 7 of the core story, then like the tie-ins, like what would the core story consist of? And he's like, these right here. And so what was like 200 and some odd issues was condensed down to what, like 12 or 13 or something like that.
Somehow.
And I was like, well, that works.
Yeah.
So,
well, we broke it down by like significant events. You know, like the things that matter, because it's all about the journey between the two paralleling journeys of Peter Parker and Ben Reilly, and what and how they end up where they end up at the end. And if there's a lot of deviations and peaks and valleys. Like you could probably spend some time talking about Seward Trainer or Stunner or Spider-Side or the Scryers, but like, why?
Judas Traveler.
Oh, dude. Okay, so that was a crazy thing. So I split it up into 4 videos.
Nice.
So there's Ben Reilly, and then there's Kane, and then there is the trial of Peter Parker, where he hits Mary Jane Watson, and then there's the conclusion. Yeah, where it all wraps up. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay, so the only one, there were only like 1 or 2 stories that I had to grab outside the list you gave me. The first one was Spider-Man 149, when Ben Reilly pops up the first time.
Yes.
When he first appears, in like that 3-issue story, the original Clone Saga. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Oh, I forgot. I didn't know you wanted to cover the old Clone Saga.
Well, no. I just wanted to be able to offer an explanation of why he's even there in the first place.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Because there was that one, and then there was Spectacular Spider-Man 223, I think it was, where it's just like how he survived and what he was doing, like how he got the name Ben Reilly. Mm-hmm. And then it was a couple things leading up to when he revealed himself to Peter Parker, and then I can't remember where I ended it. And then like there was like when I started talking about Kane, I was like, so this guy does like nothing for like a huge amount of the story except for like this one thing and like 1 or 2 things that happen that you don't really see.
Yeah.
But he's just like sitting in the shadows, just like listening to The Cure and smoking cigarettes. This guy doesn't do anything. Like he's just the most useless character ever until like the trial of Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And then like during his own story, he killed Dr. Octopus.
Yes.
And then during the trial of Peter Parker, he was like, I was the first clone. And I was like, really? Really?
Yep.
And then it got around to the part where, because I talked about Sewer Trainer, and I was like, here's why this guy matters. But I didn't spoil it too much because I didn't want to spoil the conclusion.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, so Sewer Trainer is this guy who's like a really good geneticist, and he's got a big role to play. We'll talk about that later. But he's just like friends with Ben Reilly, you know, and they just hang out. It's like a father-son relationship. Mm-hmm. So I was like, he's like, what was it? Mary Jane Watson was having complications with her pregnancy. And so she goes to him, like Ben Reilly takes her to him to do some testing.
Yep.
And then like once the trial is over, he was like, all right, I've done testing, your baby's fine, but one of you are the clone. It's like the father is the clone. Yep. And so it's like they start going through and testing everything. And then it's like, Peter Parker is the clone and Ben Reilly's the original. And I was like, what?
That was the moment that I quit comics like forever. I was like,
no.
Oh,
I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, he backhands Mary Jane Watson and just runs out of the room.
Yep.
I can't stand no more.
Yep.
I was like, man.
They were trying to character assassinate him. They were like, we don't want... that's how desperate they were to get Peter Parker unmarried from Mary Jane. They were like, we got to replace him with another guy. We got to make him like seem younger and more hip and single. And we got to make you not want Peter Parker to be Spider-Man anymore. So we got to make him like punch Mary Jane and be fake and like act like a lunatic and all this shit. And it's still, people were just like, no, we know what you're doing. We don't want you to do that anymore. And they're like, okay, sorry.
Yeah. It was nuts. I was like, man, this is...
Yeah.
And then like inexplicably, like Peter Parker is fighting Kane because Ben Reilly's like, I'm going to do the right thing and switch places with you.
Yeah.
So, like, they switch spots, and then Peter Parker's out, like, trying to find Kane. Kane finds him. They fight. And then, like, he beats the hell out of him and then drags him to, like, a courthouse. And it's like, you're going to tell everybody the truth. He was like, no. And then Peter goes to take off his mask. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then, like, he just...
Pretty sure that won't hold up in court, but all right.
Oh, no, he slams... He does the mark of Cain on the table in the courtroom, and he's like, you check my fingerprints, and you will see that he is the murderer, and I have a genetic... I faked Peter Parker's fingerprints somehow, and bye.
Yeah. And then it was, that was after the part in the story that I left out where like Carnage attacks the courthouse.
That's the worst thing is that like there's like a little like mini trial where Judas Traveler collects a bunch of Spider-Man's rogues, but only the ones from the 90s, and they do a version of the trial of Batman from the Batman animated series where like
love that episode.
That's such a great episode. Well, if you want to see a really hackneyed crappy version of that, read the one where Carnage is like the prosecutor or something. It's real rough.
Yeah. And then Venom meets Ben Reilly and fights Ben Reilly, and Venom's like, my suspicions were correct. He's not really Peter Parker.
Yeah, and Ben Reilly is like, how could Peter Parker make a deal with Venom? That's not something Peter Parker would really do. And you're like, what? Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, it was... Oh, and then there's also like, it had been so long since I read Clone Saga, and I don't even think I read it all the way, because a lot of this stuff was new to me.
Yeah.
And it was just... There was this moment... Damn, what was it? It just escaped me a second ago.
Was it female Dr. Octopus? Was it Dr. Octopus's hard light construct girlfriend?
Oh yeah, so they brought back for Superior.
Was it the Society of Scryers? Could it be?
No, it was when Mary Jane Watson was preggers. Peter Parker loses his mind, backhands her, runs out of the room, and I need to figure out, because you might be able to tell me here in a second, like, what happens between those two. But then Peter is like, you know what? Like, I think I'm just going to settle down and retire.
Yeah.
Like, out in Oregon.
Yeah, his powers start to go away, so then he and Mary Jane decide to he takes, like, a scientist job in Portland, and the two of them move to Oregon.
Yeah. It was bad.
It was real bad.
I always love to bring that shit up whenever people complain about like all the new legacy heroes Marvel is doing right now. I'm like, no, it has nothing on Ben Reilly the clone and all this other shit that happened.
Those mess. But yeah, so I'm anxious to see how these videos came out. I guarantee they'll be fantastic. I'm looking forward to it.
Those core things, it was like maybe one. Even then, it wasn't really so much comics that I had to grab. It was comics that I had to reference to see what was going on.
Yeah.
Like I had to jump back a comic or two to pick up on Judas Traveler, and then I had to jump back a comic or two to see why it was that Peter Parker had even escaped in the first place. To realize that Ben Reilly and him and Ben Reilly had switched spots. But no, I mean it was dude. Your list is pretty much perfect. Like it covers all the fine points, and it's just like one or two things that I have to reference in a different comic, but I don't really need them for the video.
No.
But yeah, no, it's God, man, Clone Saga.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Judas Traveler has easily one of my favorite ridiculous comic book names and appearances.
He's also great because they made him so OP. They went like, oh no, how is it that he exists and no one has heard of him? Like, how is it Professor X, Apocalypse, or any other power player has never noticed this freaking guy? And then it turns out that he's like, I think he's a mutant or something, but his superpower is he can make people think what he wants them to think, and so everyone thinks that he's super powerful and awesome.
Yeah, he just like makes illusions. It's like
he's like a shitty Purple Man.
Yeah, like it's more like, because Purple Man makes you want to do it. Judas Traveler makes you think that what he's saying is real. He's just a really great shyster.
The excellent con man.
It's horrible.
Did he ever die, Judas Traveler? Because
No.
I always thought of some. Oh, you didn't? Because I always thought if some writer was super ballsy, they should work him in somewhere as like a gag.
Dan Slott has gone on record. That's the only character he will never bring into his run.
Really?
Yeah, and he's proven it because he's brought back like so many characters. You're like, why?
Really has.
I think the Big Wheel has appeared.
He has a couple times actually.
So yeah, Clone Saga on Comics Explained. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's. Man, like, you can hear it in my voice, too. By the time I got around to Clone... Because I recorded all three of them in one day.
Oh, man.
And by the time I got around to the Clone Saga, like, the trial of Peter Parker, I was like, I'm so ready to be done with this terrible-ass story.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
But I think it'd just be kind of fun to get out there. Because
Totally.
there were some interesting moments in there.
Yeah, Aunt May's death is awesome.
Yeah. And, like... Dr. Octopus saving Peter Parker.
Yes.
And he was like, I didn't save you out of kindness. I did it because I want to be the one to kill you.
And the fact that he knows who he is like, I've always known who you are, Peter. And you're like, what? That's cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, I thought he figured out who he was because he was working on him.
No,
Did he already always know?
Yeah, well, he like knew for a while, because I remember when Peter Parker was like dying from the poison that the owl gave him. Doc Ock like collects him in an alley, pulls off his mask. He immediately already knows who he is. There's no surprise there. No, I think like the idea was because when Doc Ock first appeared, he unmasked Spider-Man in his first appearance. Damn. Because he's like, I have 4 arms. I have 6 arms. I use each of my metal arms to grab your wrists and ankles. You can't move. I use my regular arms to slap you in the face, take off your mask, and show you to your friends. And everyone's like, wow, Spider-Man got his ass kicked, and he's Peter Parker, and he's like, oh, that must be what it is. He's not really Spider-Man, because he got his ass kicked so easily, it must have been Peter Parker. Like, no one believed him. But Doc Ock was like...
That's a great defense.
Yeah, I love it. It's so great.
No, I suck so hard I can't possibly be the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Well, no, but it would scream like 1960s comics if like Dr. Octopus and Spider-Man were fighting each other, and like he's just moving his head really fast.
Yeah.
And Dr. Octopus just can't get a hold of his mask.
Yeah. No. Although I will say, as part of Spider-Man's powers, because any part of his skin can adhere, so he can use his clinging powers with his face to cling to the mask.
I've seen that reference in comics before. I think I saw it in a comic when they tried to take his mask off, and they couldn't lift it up past his nose.
Yeah.
Because it was adhered to his face, and I was like, so how come it's not the case all the time? It's like, oh well, they have this thing called plot convenience.
Yeah, and, well, he has to want to do that or be conscious in order to do it. But yeah, anyway,
that's why he runs out of webbing sometimes when he runs out of the cartridges. You think he would never leave home without at least a dozen.
Well, he has them in his belt. Like he has a Spider-Man utility belt that also shoots a spider signal. So it's very Batman.
Sometimes.
But no, it's full of web cartridges. Just that sometimes he forgets to. He's got to make that. You can't buy the web cartridge. He's got to make new webbing fluid every time. So
Anyway. You reminded me of the spider signal. I loved in the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon. He shows that off for the first time to Rhino and Sandman. It's like, what do you think of it?
Yeah,
should I keep it?
What do you think? It's cool, right? Like, neat idea. I like in the Spider-Man-Batman crossover when Spider-Man uses the signal to illuminate the Joker, and Joker says, "A spider signal? I hope Commissioner Gordon doesn't hear about this." I'm like, that's funny. Well done. Anyway.
Okay, so in the actual Clone Saga, so Kane confesses.
Yes. But then he leaves. Oh no, he gets arrested, I think.
Yeah, he gets arrested, and then he confesses, he confessed to killing Luis, whatever her name is. Mm-hmm. That one chick.
Yep.
But then how does he get away? Does he just leave?
I think he just leaves.
Really?
I don't recall how he escaped. I think he just runs away.
Because the one where I picked up at, it was this weird story where Peter Parker has this dream that Kane's trying to kill Mary Jane.
Yes, because all of them are having the same vision. That Mary Jane is of Mary Jane dying, and Kane, I think, breaks free because he gets the vision too, and he needs to make sure that it doesn't come to reality. I think that's where he gets out of jail, or at least I know that all of them have the same vision of Mary Jane being killed, which is weird.
Huh.
And I don't know if that was a jackal memory implant, or if that was like a psychic link they all had, or something. But it was really dumb.
One of the things that I thought was kind of interesting with Kane was he was actually kind of a good guy.
Yeah.
Where he's like a bad guy, but he was like, I'm just doing this because Ben Reilly sucks.
Yeah.
And he doesn't need to be here.
Yeah. He's like, no, Ben Reilly's redundant. As long as Ben Reilly's around, he makes Spider-Man less special. I need to kill him. And I'm like, yeah.
So he's like, I just want to kill Ben Reilly. He's like, oh, well, I mean, you're not really a bad guy.
Yeah.
You're kind of a dick, but you're not really a bad guy.
And in fact, he kills Doc Ock because he's like, you're in the way. Like, you're a real dick to Spider-Man, crackneck.
Yeah. That was nuts. That was one of the craziest things, because that fight was over quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah.
It was nuts. No, I did not cover... I don't remember... Maybe I did cover Spider-Side. She was the yellow symbiote, right?
No, that's...
That was Scream.
Scream. Spider-Side is a jackal clone that has, symbiotic powers, but he's not a symbiote. He's like a... Whatever, who cares? Spider-Side
He's a weird.
He is a clone made specifically to kill Spider-Man clones. So take that as you will. That's why he's called Spider-Side.
Wow. Yeah, I left that out.
Balls.
And then years later, Eddie Brock would find Jesus and then go around and kill all the other symbiotes, all the redundant ones.
Yeah, good.
Oh, dude, that was amazing, man. Like when he was in what was it? He was in Martin Lee's little daycare center place, whatever it was. And when Martin Lee was Negative Man, Mr. Negative.
Yeah.
And he's like, I found Christ. He's like, I turned my life around. No, that was Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Well, Eddie Brock has always been a big Bible thumper.
He loves church. He's always going there.
He went there to kill himself, to beg forgiveness at the Church of St. Mary's or something.
Did you guys see the new Deathstroke now? Deathstroke is born again now under Christopher Priest, and he's found Jesus after being to the Speed Force.
Well, okay, I don't think it explicitly he said he didn't find Christ, because he was talking to what's her name, talking to
Tanya.
Power Girl. Yeah, Tanya, the new Power Girl.
Yeah.
And she was like, You found Christ? And he was like, No, don't be silly.
but he is quoting from the Judeo-Christian Bible. And I love he's dressing like a televangelist now, all white suit and white eye patch. No, I'm a good guy now.
That looks amazing though.
Oh yeah.
Like he looks so badass, like the white eye patch and the white hair and the white suit. Dude, the guy looks like he would just walk up to you, touch you, and you would die. When
that dude comes to your door saying, "Do you have a moment to talk about Christ?"
You take a moment.
Say yes.
Yeah, you take a moment to talk about Christ.
Yeah.
See, that's all his plan is for starting a new Dark Titans team. He's recruiting all these new people so he can start a Bible scam and send them door to door.
Yeah, eventually he's going to get incorporated as a church, and then. Then he can get tax exempt status.
Yeah,
that's where you find out
operate like assassins out of the
nothing,
church.
And this was all just a long con for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
no, I love that epilogue. I thought it was pretty solid.
It was sweet.
I had a great time reading it.
But hey, thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. And I guess that's the way the cookie crumbles. I don't know. We're just
Thanks for coming out, guys.
Thanks for coming out.
Awesome hanging out with you guys for the last hour or so. We got some new subs, some splooges. Splooges from our toes out to you guys.
Yeah.
Check out Comic Multiverse Cape Joel TeePublic store. I finally jumped on that bandwagon 4 years late.
Well, get a shirt.
Get it. I sold at least one so far.
Hey.
Awesome,
That's
man.
one more than I thought I'd sell.
That's good. That's good. That's the avalanche, man. Here it comes.
No, Rome wasn't built in a day, man. Everybody started at zero.
That's right.
They also make stickers, which means next con, don't be shocked if I start handing those out.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, see you guys next time.
Yep. We will catch you guys later. Peace.